Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So yeah, we've got an interesting day today. I mean, inflation kind of stayed where it was supposed to be. To me, it's still a red day. Just saying. What else was there? Well, we had the miracle of miracles. But did you guys realize that Vanguard is now embracing crypto ETFs? If I made you pass out, I am very sorry. Very, very sorry. That's your guess. Okay, I get it. But yeah, I mean, the company that said they would never has now changed their mind. Probably because they're brother and sister companies. You know, because they all own each other, because that's how it works. I guess they felt the pressure, which is amazing. That doesn't mean that they're going to make their own, although that is still a possibility. But it does mean that Vanguard is going to allow exposure to crypto ETFs in their funds. My head is still spinning. That's right. My head is still spinning. I also want to take a look at, who was up today. Was there anybody up that made anything to me? Oh, that's right. Linea is up. Linea is up 12.6664% with a GMB X factor of 0.66. Why is Linea up today? Well, apparently, Swift, the global banking giant, because they supply all the services, is partnering with Linea to pilot a blockchain-based system promising faster, cheaper, and more secure cross-border transactions. In other words, they're getting into bed with Linea to go to war with Ripple. So, wow. I didn't ask you anything. I said, that's your thought. I didn't ask a question. So, did patient one hit you in the back of the head too hard? Is that what happened? What's going on, Hutanic? So, that's why Linea is up, which is interesting. Aster was up 6.94% with a GMB X factor of 0.19. Mantle was up 8.56% with a GMB X factor of 0.09. That's right. Mantle just keeps on winning. Trust Wallet up 6.39%, GMB X factor of 1.18. Aerodrome Finance, don't know why they're in business, but they are, up 6.69% with GMB X factor of 1.21. I don't know about you, but I find that to be interesting because I don't believe that they offer anything that is amazing. But I guess there's enough business out there for everybody and they're making theirs. Hat tip. It's not easy. The stuff that these companies are doing, the stuff that these teams are doing is not easy at all. Not easy at all. So for them to actually be surviving and not just surviving, but thriving. If you're in the top 250 coins, you are thriving. Just saying. Yo, 8 paws into his house. And you answered my poll. Awesome, because everybody right now in the poll said yes. That's what's up. Well, because tonight's poll question is not really a poll question. It's, have you invested in yourself today? This is simple stuff. This is easy stuff. It is not strange. The stock market is going up and the crypto is going down. No, it's not strange at all. It's not strange at all. I don't know why people draw so many things, try to draw so many comparisons or correlations between the two. They're two separate animals, and every now and then they converge until they don't. Just like Rick Ritchie's trend line. Seriously. I mean, I understand the question. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make light of it. There's a reason, right? Sometimes things move together. but it's like sound waves, right? You ever, it's here's a better example. Have you ever been in your car trying to make a turn and you're sitting there and you're waiting and you've got your blinker on and you realize the person in front of you have your blinker on? We've all done this game where you try to see whose blinker is running faster or slower. It's like that. Sometimes they get in sync. They're not really in sync. They're not really in sync. They give the illusion that they're in sync. And then you see one fall out of synchronicity. And then there you go. And that's what's going on with crypto and the stock market. That's what you see. So it's all good. It happens. So what I'm looking at is a very interesting market. I think Vanguard is about to change the game. That sends out a massive signal. A massive signal. Because Vanguard said, we're never going to do it. They didn't talk crap about it. They just said, we're not into it. We're more traditional. We're just not into it. Unlike Jamie Dimon, right? Remember all that trash talk? And then you turn around and JP Morgan's all up in it, dirty all over with crypto. Yeah, but that wasn't Vanguard. So I have respect for their game. I have absolute respect because they weren't trying to manipulate the market. They said, no, not interested. And they stuck by their guns until they said, you know what? There's a lot going on here. And maybe we should be a part of it. That's what they did. I'm with that. I am absolutely with that. Absolutely with that. I don't mind if people change their minds. That's fine. And that's what they did. They changed their mind. And some people are going to sit there and brag and be like, oh, they finally came to their senses and blah, blah, blah. No. They have their own risk framework, and that should be the lesson. They have their own risk framework, and they kept evaluating. And during that evaluation process, something triggered that said it could be a good thing to get in. Pure business decision, not manipulation. Pure business decision. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't sit in those meetings or anything else like that. But I mean, there could be some back office deals or whatever. But to me, this was a pure business decision. Crypto did not agree with their risk framework until now. And they're willing to say, okay. I mean, look at BlackRock. BlackRock was like, yeah, nah. No. What's his name? Larry Fink? What did he finally come out and say? He was like, and then we got some more information and I read over the information, blah, 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 blah. Again, had a risk framework and didn't work out until it did. But that also says that they kept an eye on it. They didn't manipulate. They didn't say, oh, I hate it, while their team was off doing some stuff. And when the time came, BlackRock came out and said, yeah, I was wrong. CEO came out and said, I was wrong. And now we're all in it. Jamie Dimon, on the other hand, because I'm going to tell you, you don't fart at JP Morgan unless he knows and gives you permission. He runs a tight ship. That's why he's been at the helm for so long. He's good at what he does. He's great at what he does. I just didn't like the manipulation. I didn't like saying one thing over here and allowing his company to go do stuff over here. I didn't like that. Still don't. Still don't. Because I don't think he'll ever come out and say, yeah, I didn't do right. I don't think he'll ever say that. But Larry Fink got out there and said, I was wrong. takes big cojones to actually wake up one day and say, I was wrong. And then go do something about it. I was wrong. And then once he figured out that they were wrong, what happened? That's right. They were like, we got to play catch up. And then they just blew everybody else away. Think about that. Because I know I do. I think about that all the time. I'm like, it's how it's done, how you do business. It's how you do business. So am I ever going to trust Jamie Dimon and what he's saying, what he's talking about when it comes to crypto? No. I don't listen to him when it comes to crypto. I listen to him when it comes to banking, when it comes to economics, when it comes to finance. I'll listen to him about that. Crypto, I don't listen to him. Unless it's a broad topic and he's talking about the numbers, the metrics, the KPIs. When he's talking about that, okay, I can pay attention. Because when it's just numbers, the guy knows what he's talking about. But when it comes to business decisions that are based on business and not numbers, yeah, I don't listen to him at all. Not at all. Don't know him. Never met the guy. Never met the guy. Pretty sure he's a nice guy. But I didn't like that. But I do like how BlackRock came out and said, we were wrong. We're full steam ahead. And now you have Vanguard saying, hey, we're going to do it now. Which says to you, we've been paying attention. We didn't just make a decision and walk away and turn our back on it. We made a decision and we put it over here. And it was checked. It was monitored. And then something happened and a notification went off. And that's what changed their decision. So yeah, that's what I pay attention to. Your investment strategy is now in high gear. No nation supported the U.S. Okay, now you're getting into politics and that means nothing. So yeah, no, don't like the comment. Shiba Inu community races to launch a U.S. ETF. That's amazing. Facing SEC demands for a clean name and compliance with figures like Dell Crypto and Coinbase Valor pushing for approval to shed its joke status. Wow. Those are strong words. Those are strong words. Damn. So yeah, not for nothing. That'll be a big deal. Still, after Vanguard, I think the next story that I'm really paying attention to is Swift partnering with Linea. Because what is Linea? And that news was like all over the place. And I'm kind of like, ooh, I'm going to dig a little bit more because I want to see, well, do they come out the next day like CZ did? I was like, yeah, no, we're not looking for investors. I'm the investor, period. CZ shut that down real fast. He was like, yeah, Financial Times got that wrong. It's my company. It's my money. That's it. Can't say anything after that. So I'm wondering if this Swift partnership with Linea is the real deal. If it's the real deal, wow. Then I have some research to do in Linea. I have a lot more research to do in Linea. BlackRock launches a Bitcoin ETF using a covered call strategy to turn crypto volatility into steady income, shaking up traditional finance with its innovative approach. That's interesting. Like I said, BlackRock is all in. BlackRock is all in. UK banks, there was a bunch of UK banks. I think the number was 6. 6 UK banks launched tokenized deposits to challenge stablecoins. That's kind of a big deal. And it's driven by the Bank of England's blockchain push with a 2026 pilot aiming to streamline payments and reduce costs. Again, last night we were talking about another group of banks in Europe that were doing something similar. Now you've got 6 banks in the UK doing the same thing. Because if we don't choose something between us all, then how do we move money? How do we move value? How do we move value? I think as things like this heat up, countries around the world are truly going to have to rethink fiat. Because it's very easy for crypto to just take over. Like I said, there's not going to be only one, but crypto as a space will take over. And so that affects how you collect taxes, how your country makes money, does things. It's going to be different. And here's the kicker. It'll be the one, I firmly believe that it'll be the coins that are not tied or bound by any one state or country, if you will, but they're called states. So yeah, as long as it's not tied to a state, I think those coins will do well. So I think it'll be incredibly interesting. Rumor has it that Tether is looking to go IPO. Don't know. I hope not. Honestly, I hope not. But for right now, they're stateless. The difference is going to be USDT is stateless, but Tether will be tied to somebody's stock market if they go IPO, depending on where they go IPO. And with everything that's going on now, wouldn't you, I mean, from a state perspective, wouldn't you contemplate where you go IPO? In what country? Like, seriously, would you go IPO in the United States if you're Tether? It makes you stop and think. It makes you, well, at least it makes me stop and think. So that's more than interesting to me. So the 9 banks across Europe, the 6 banks in the UK. What other regions do you think will do the same thing? Do you see US banks doing that? Which ones? Top tier? Second tier? Regionals? Makes you stop and go, oh, now that's interesting. Will you have Latin American banks do it? Middle Eastern banks? Asian banks? Groups of banks coming together to do something. And then what happens at that point? Do the groups of banks now connect to each other and say, which one are we going to use? Or we value this at this and you value that at that. We agree on the denominator and boom, we're off to the races making money. And it costs significantly less to actually transfer and move value between all of those institutions. Doesn't that change how banking operates then? Because traditional finance needs a massive overhaul. Massive overhaul. Even the US government is like, you should implement blockchain. You should implement AI to help you manage risk. You should do. Yeah. Makes you stop and go, whoa, that's interesting. That's a little bit more than just simple. It makes you stop and wonder. Dark Horse, what's good? Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. That's what's up. But doesn't that make you stop and wonder? Now, something else that's been popping in my head is the AI bubble. Now people are actually saying it out loud. And the reason why they're saying it out loud is because of the deal between OpenAI and Oracle and OpenAI and NVIDIA. Oh, and lest you forget the deal that they already have with Microsoft. Doing client work before bed? Where are you at? It's only 8:23 right now. It's not a lot. So yeah, I'm sitting back and I'm looking at things like that. That can have an effect going forward. Because I find that to be massively interesting. Massively interesting. So how do you, what changes in traditional finance? And then how do you address everybody giving you their money? Because at some point you've got to stop and realize, I don't need to put my money in a bank. If you're moving toward crypto and they're moving toward crypto and everybody's moving toward crypto, the hell I need a bank for to hold my money? I need reliable staking mechanisms where I can make real money. Banks are going to have to address that head on. Head on. No matter how easy you make it to maneuver from fiat to crypto, from crypto to fiat, it doesn't freaking matter. We're moving in a direction where sooner or later you're going to have stores accepting crypto. Hell, I need a bank for. You've got, in the United States, you have Ohio already looking to accept crypto for payment of services. All you need are a couple of banks that'll accept crypto for your mortgage. And if they're really smart, they'll be like, well, we'll take stable coin. I'm telling you, things are going to change. Things will absolutely change. One of my biggest gripes with banks is when you make a purchase, they're quick to tell you that you made this purchase, but it's not quick on your statement to actually show up. Like it'll show up like, oh, it's pending, and it'll be pending for the next 24 to 48 hours. Lord help you if it's over the weekend. It's not like that with crypto. I know exactly how much I have at every second of every day. It's not like that with a bank account. It's not like that with a bank account. So banks are going to have to figure out, again, for the millionth time, what is a bank? What do we do? What do we bring to the table? What differentiates us from your crypto wallet and even liquid staking? We're not even talking about like full-blown staking, just liquid staking. You hold your asset. How do you address that? You want to make bigger money? Okay, there's DeFi. What's your answer to that? What do you bring to the table that makes it so that I want to keep my money in a bank? Because I don't know anybody that loves their bank. Because everybody loves their bank until their bank screws them over. And that's like 100% of the time. You're clean and pristine for a while and all of a sudden, boop, they don't care about you anymore. You go from needing $1,000 to have a fee-less bank account to needing to have $2,500. And let me tell you something. For most people across the country, having a stable $2,500 in the bank account, doing nothing for you except allowing you to avoid fees, not make money, just avoid fees. And you're keeping it in an account that pays you next to nothing to avoid fees that they collect so that you can leverage their antiquated systems. That's a problem. Because now that last domino has fallen. Its name was Swift. If this works out with Swift and they go with Linea, they're already in bed with Chainlink. They've solved their problem, right? I think they're kind of cozying up to others, but if it's linear to go up against XRP, obviously, and they're already tied to Chainlink, well, listen, they're in the game, they're in the mix. But that's a signal to all the banks out there that, hey, yeah, the network is changing. Network is changing. Yo, Max Salas in his house. I invested in myself and in Sol. Okay, so you invested in yourself and in Sol. Okay, let me take a look. Solana's up 0.72 today and up 5.34% over the past 24 hours. I'm just curious. I just want to look. Hyperliquid is up 0.75 today and up 10.12 in the past 24 hours. I'm getting there. Shh, be nice. And Aster is up 0.67% today in the past hour and 6.65% over the past 24 hours. Curious as to why you said Sol. Yeah, I find that most people are keeping very little in the banks these days. Why? If you think about it, we're like the beginning of cord cutting banks, right? Remember cord cutting? It was a big deal. Like, how are you getting your shows? Is it pirating or streaming? And now the streaming services are turning into internet-based cable companies because they just keep raising the prices. And you used to be able to pay a price and not have to worry about commercials. And now you're worried about commercials. Still paying the high price. Just saying. And they don't want to say it, but they have not stopped piracy. If you stream it, you can record it, and nobody would know. Nobody would know. Because you're watching the show. I have an account. I have an account here, and here. But I have an account to this one. My friend has an account to that one. My other friend has an account to that one. And because we all have accounts, and we all share a server, bam. I think streaming services are going to wind up becoming the new cable. And I think the new cable is going to find out real fast who's actually in control. And now with whole new technologies that are doing the whole peer-to-peer internet, things change fast. Things change real fast. And I just wonder, like, are people paying attention? So I'm waiting for streaming services to wake up and stop being so damn greedy. We knew that commercialless was not going to last long because there's the amount of money that you'd have to charge people to never show a commercial is a ridiculous dollar amount. That's how much money comes across in commercials. Tens of millions of dollars for 30 seconds during a Super Bowl should give you an idea about the just enormous amounts of money that pass. From the simple $75, video ad on a cable station between this time and that time to prime time, prime show, prime ratings level commercials. And then here's the kicker. The internet is not going to be the same. I can easily tell you how the internet goes away. You ever watch Iron Man? Jarvis? Sounds insane, but that's kind of here now. I don't need the internet to research stuff. I can have a little agent go research stuff and bring it to me and even read it to me. So I don't even have to read the spoken word. Things are changing massively. Web3 isn't even close to taking shape yet. I hear what you're saying. It's not even close to taking shape yet. I know because my company is a part of the Metaverse Standards Forum. And if you think it's taking shape now, you don't even know what's coming. It's insane. Now you know why I say that gaming is going to be different. You won't just be playing the game, you'll be in the game. I'm telling you, people, go watch Ready Player One. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch that movie. I'm seeing some features that weren't possible 3 years prior. Yep. Telling you, go watch that movie, Ready Player One. And you sit there and you kind of go, what? He's talking about gaming. He's not talking. Go watch that movie and then start thinking about it from a money or value perspective. Start thinking about it like that. Start looking at that dystopian world, how it operates, and then you'll see. I mean, everything from surveillance cameras to how people interact, both in person and in the metaverse, which is comprised of multiple worlds. This is insane. This is funny. So the graph that I'm looking at, sorry to be off topic, but the graph that I'm looking at shows that I have a ton of people watching, but my concurrent view number is 1. It's crazy. I mean, heck, it could be 1. Maybe nobody likes me. They all left me. Could be. You never know. People get tired of things. I hope not. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that is going to change. Buying things in the metaverse, yeah, that's going to, I can tell you now, that is going to be crypto. It will be crypto. You won't have to worry about anything. You won't have to worry about doing math to handle denomination and all that stuff. Whatever coin you got, you'll just be able to buy it. I'm telling you, it's going to be drastically different. Going to live shows, you'll be able to enjoy a live show with your friends, and they will not even be in the same state as you. You just put your goggles on, your friends right there, your other friends right there, and everybody's having fun. I mean, yes, I'm hoping that everybody will wind up going and doing stuff together in person. But you can see how that comes along very quickly. Wow, nobody's watching now. Well, it is Friday night. It's 8:30. I get it. People have stuff to do. Other news. Bitcoin faces volatility amid rising inflation, Trump tariffs, and Fed uncertainty. I told you this morning how Bank of Japan is going through the same thing as the Fed. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. And now we're also dealing with, well, the T word reared its ugly head again. Maybe the experience will be better. Sometimes you actually need to be around other living bodies. Here's why I say that. AI is so good that you'll think it's another person. From voice to features to everything, you could think that it's another person. And then you'll realize that nothing beats live and in person, standing next to a person, having a conversation with a person. Events, maybe. Right? You go to a concert by yourself, you're still surrounded by other living beings, warm blood, that kind of thing. Still crazy enjoyable. Crazy enjoyable. I think that I don't know if you guys recall, but there was back in the day technology called CD-ROMs, and Prince came out with an interactive CD-ROM that was absolutely amazing. You just walked around and just discovered things. That CD-ROM was just amazing. And then I look back at that CD-ROM and I'm kind of like, wow, now imagine doing that. Wearing a set of goggles, some haptic gloves, on one of those 360 walking machines, and you can touch things and get a feeling sensation. I'm telling you, some of this stuff is already here. Some of this stuff is already here. It's going to be insane. There are technologies out there that will just make you stop and go, holy moly. Fusion technology, fission technology, those are real things. There was just a breakthrough the other day or the other week, I think it was a week ago, where it might have been longer than that, where they can actually do fusion. And this is the first time that the energy that they got out of the process was more than the energy that they put into the process. It was the first time that that's happened. And now you can see how things can change in a massive way going forward. I'm looking for technologies like that to invest in. I don't live for my first name. I live for my last name. So if I can find things like that to invest in now, by the time my kids are involved in everything else, well, guess what? When I croak, they'll already have that. I foresee people literally day trading with screens in the air in broad daylight outside. Why? Just put on glasses. It'll be right there. You ever hear Microsoft's HoloLens? Go do some research on that one. Well before its time. But even look at some of the goggles that are out there now. You can turn your current space into larger spaces. HoloLens was like, you could come home and on the table pick up your HoloLens glasses and see notes that your kids left for you. Hey, this, that, and the other. Your husband or your wife leaves you a note. Hey, dinner's in the microwave. I'm with little Jimmy at his baseball game. Yeah. Yeah. There's some crazy stuff that's going on out there. Crazy stuff. And so when you look at these things, you start to realize, wow, the world is different. Now hold that in your head. And you'll be thinking, oh man, we're going to need massive data centers for that. No, you don't. Because you can do AI on your own computer. I have AI on my laptop. Yes, I have big rigs that really do some AI stuff for us. But I've got AI running on my laptop that would be able to do stuff like that. When they say, oh, we need these massive data centers, we need them, we need them, we need them. You start to realize they're shipping computers capable of doing awesome AI right there. The hell I need your data center for? You compare some of these local or open source models to OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok, all of them, Gemini, all of them. And some of these AIs are better than theirs. For free, running on your laptop or your desktop, not using that level of power. In the future, why would I need a massive data center to do that unless I wanted to control something? I keep asking, what do you need all that space for? What do you need all that space for? Go do research on Qwen 3 Omni. Qwen 3 Omni. If you're into AI and you want to look in the future, even if you're not a techie, go do research on Qwen 3 Omni and then compare that to what all of the other paid systems are actually capable of. Because it's comparable and in some cases better. You'll actually sit there and you'll just go, and why am I paying for that service? $30 a month for this, $30 a month for that. They catch you with the subscription fees. Everything's a subscription. Car companies try to catch you out there with subscriptions. Oh, you want heated seats? $2 a month. Oh, you want your steering wheel to work? $50 a month. Yeah, it was getting ridiculous until they got slapped in the face and people were like, nah, I won't buy your car. And then when you stop and think about it, I'm probably not going to need a car. I was explaining this the other day. Look at Uber. Rural sites don't have Uber because you need a driver to go all the way out to the sticks to pick somebody up to take them somewhere. Well, you get yourself a driverless car. I no longer am bound by that. And I can now send a car to go get you, take you wherever you want. That's right. It changes the game now, doesn't it? I don't have to take my beat up truck from the farm all the way down into the city. No, I can literally call an Uber, schedule it in advance, and it'll come get me. That's where it's going. So I need a car for what? Everything can just be scheduled. I need to meet my friends at the movies. The car will be downstairs at 6. It will get me there in time because everything's computerized, right? It will get me there in time to do what? To watch the movie at 6:30. Even grab some popcorn. And it's if I'm crazy enough to actually go to the movies, because I don't do movies. I stay at home and watch whatever it is I want to watch. But I'll go to a restaurant. I'll meet my friends at a restaurant at 6:30. Like, yeah, oh, this is going to be great. 6:30, whatever time. But that's really where it's moving toward. So I'm not looking for stocks or investments in old stuff unless it's tried and true. I'm looking for stocks and cryptos that are looking forward, that will have longevity. There aren't that many things in the past that will have longevity going forward. Like I said, I can see how the internet goes away. Why do I need to look at a website when Jarvis or Rosie can just go get me the information and tell it to me? Or bring it up on the screen. I'm not going to be surfing. I won't be sifting through stupid stuff. AI will be good enough to show me what's pertinent about whatever subject that I'm looking into, that I'm researching. That's where it's going. Apple Vision is way too bulky. Yeah, I don't care about the specific technologies, right? Because if you think about it, you could pick out something that sucks about all of them. But it's the constant improvement. Microsoft came out with the HoloLens, and what made it special was that you could actually work with stuff in that space. You want to see Mars, you can be on Mars, bend down and pick something up and see it. Each one of them comes out with something that brings another little different perspective to things. And it keeps going and going and going and going and going. So I can easily see how the internet goes away. Or won't be what we think it is. Think Minority Report. You're walking down an area, take off your glasses, and there's nothing there. Put your glasses on, and there are ads just for you. Hey, you haven't bought pants in a while, and you've bought a ton from this store. Do you need pants right now? Little reminders like that. Hey, remind me next time I'm near this place to pick something up. Not that I need it, that I need to go get it now, but when I'm nearby, remind me about that spot that had, sorry, I have an itch. Remind me about that spot that had the great cheesecake. And if I'm nearby, remind me about it. And I want to go pick up some cheesecake. Or that place down in the city that has great burgers. Yeah. You start to think about things, and then that's why I start to look at, well, what's the infrastructure like? Where's the infrastructure taking me? Because with you having better, stronger faster computers in your house, are you really going to use OpenAI? And that's where the bubble comes in. That's where the bubble comes in. Because see, Google doesn't really need AI to be a moneymaker for them, right? Because they make money in other ways. They can be a part of what's coming. OpenAI, this is all they do. Oh, vive la différence. Telling you, things are going to be drastically different in the very near future. Watch out for things that are changing, small, but the change from last week to this week is huge. The change from last week to next month, bigger. The change from this year to next year, huge. Won't even recognize. You have computers that are out right now that can run some really, really large language models that cost you less than $2,500. So if you're buying a new computer, you could be like, oh, I'll just buy that. And I'll get one of the geek college kids to set it up for me, or I'll just follow the directions and set it up myself. And then I've got my local OpenAI. I'm not going to pay for Microsoft Copilot. I'm not going to pay for AI. I'm not going to pay for, for what is it? Anthropic or Gemini or Grok. I'm not going to pay for any of that. I'll have my own right here. And I'll name him Jarvis or Rosie, the Jetsons. That's serious. Or I name him Kit. Remember Kit? Knight Rider. Come on. Just saying. 8 Plus. It's crazy, right? It's absolutely nuts. Hutanik was telling me the other day that he put together, some crazy old computers, and he's got them doing some useful stuff. You want to know what's useful? Home automation. Turn on my porch light at sunset. Turn off my porch light when everybody's in the house. Oh, you can't tell when everybody's in the house? Oh, you can tell because they're on your network. You can tell because they're on your network. Their cell phones. Their watches. Oh, so-and-so's home. Oh, okay. Everybody's home? I can turn off the porch light and save some solar. At least in my house, I can do that. You'll see things like that just take off. Home automation won't be this fantastic thing that nobody knows about. It'll just be there. Your lights will activate when you're actually in the room. They'll turn off when you leave the room. Certain lights that you use all the time at night, they'll just stay on because that's how the family lives. Tell your little Rosie, hey, I want to watch a movie at X time, and the living room will alert you that the lighting is set up, the television is on, and I'm rolling, previews for you. So get your popcorn ready. Oh, and I already turned that on, and they'll be ready in 5 minutes. Now you know why I think of things so differently. Now you know why I was looking at what's going on infrastructure-wise, and then what comes after infrastructure. What uses the infrastructure? It's not rocket science. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. It's all pretty logical. It already helps disabled folks tremendously. I know somebody that works with, I don't know if she still has her job, but she works with disabled veterans, and they're using Web3 tech because they're homebound. They're using Web3 tech so that they don't feel homebound. How freaking awesome is that? Love her. Love her and what she's doing. Love her and what she's doing. It's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. And help grandma call 911 when she's fallen and can't get up. Yup. she won't have to say or do anything. She'll have a device in her pocket, around her neck, or whatever, that will sense a hard impact versus she's just laying down in the bed. Give her gentle vibrations so that she doesn't stay in bed, or give her a gentle vibration when she's been in the same position for too long. Yeah. See how my brain thinks? It's not just the infrastructure, but it's what's running on the infrastructure. In this case, I'm giving you an example of what's running on the infrastructure that can better our lives. Which also means what? Oh, that's right. They'll have to advertise to us differently now, won't they? Oh, damn. Marketing and advertising is going to take a huge turn. Huge. You're going to have to figure out, how do I get to these people now? The internet's not the internet anymore. Sites that have information, you want to reach people, you better give them the information. And you better make it so that AI won't just say, no, I'm not going to show them any ads. You're going to have to impress upon them. Your whole day won't be shopping. It'll be just visiting stores and letting your assistant know that, oh, yeah, that's interesting to me. Oh, I like that chess set. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. Da 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 da. Whatever it is. You know, I was walking down the street with Michael, and Michael's birthday is coming up, and Michael had said that he liked a couple of things. Can you give me a list of those things that he said he liked and what the prices are? He's been a good kid, so I'm gonna go get him something nice. He's been a bad kid. I'm only gonna get him something small. Your assistant, your personal assistant will be in your pocket, and it won't be controlled by Apple, Google, Meta, whatever, whoever. It'll be local to you. So I'm wondering why all these companies are spending billions of dollars when you have companies selling computers that are bigger, stronger, smaller, stronger, just stronger, that can all do AI. Just saying. Just saying. Want a computer that can do AI? Call me up. I'll have one of my guys set it up for you, and I'll give you a price. We'll tell you what computer it's going to be, this, that, and the other. We'll set it all up for you. By the time you receive your computer, you'll be like, damn, I have AI right here. And you'll be amazed. You'll be able to talk to it. You'll be able to hold up pictures and be like, tell me about the company that makes this product. Yeah, this one. Oh, that's the company name right there. I think that's the company name. You'll do it like that. And it'll come back and be like, oh, you're holding a Roku, and it must be attached to some kind of Roku device. Roku is da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 publicly traded, and its price is da-da-da-da-da, and its MACD is this, and its RSI is that. And public sentiment is this. See how that goes? And that is all here right now. I know because I have it. We're just running improvements on it. That's crazy. So yeah, when I'm looking at things, I'm not just looking at what's hot right now, which is not bad, but I'm looking at what's the infrastructure, what can run on that infrastructure, how will it change or disrupt the world as it is, how will people compute? Like I said, I don't need to dial into your central location to use your AI so you can take all of my information. I can simply have my own running on my laptop that I can just leave on because it won't die. I've got an old computer lying around. I have an old computer lying around. That computer's like, I want to say like, I think like 7 or 8 years old. Home automation right there. I have a NAS hooked up to it. Guess what? Actually, NAS, it's a network addressable server. Everybody's computer in the house can attach to that NAS, watch movies, all that good stuff, listen to music, read books, listen to books. Yeah. The future is already here. I'm looking for things that are going to reimagine the next future. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about us, because we are growing and we're growing fast. And we like the conversation. We like how we all share. We love this stuff. And trust me when I tell you things are coming. If you're a big bagger, you might see a couple of differences on the site, and there'll be more coming. All that work that we're putting into everything, it's coming in a big way. For everybody else, if you are a junior bagger or a bagger on, or even a big bagger, if you're a big bagger, already have your stuff. But if you're any kind of member on YouTube, make sure that I have your email address, and you can DM me on Instagram. Tell me who you are, and I'll be able to go verify. And then I can shoot you a note about how you can access the upcoming new Grow My Bag website, where there are feeds that you can actually chat with. It's a full-blown social media platform, and it's getting nothing but better. I mean, we've got like 13,000 plus articles and videos on there. Oof. Yeah, and growing. It'll get better. We have a long way to go. But remember when Facebook first came out? Compared to the Facebook that it is today, it was kind of bleh. But you had to start somewhere. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. Don't forget, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on Sunday. Bye-bye. Unless I do an AI show tomorrow. Who knows? Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.